The treasurer is absent tonight for tonight's meeting, and as a result, the board members would like to choose a board member as the pro temp for tonight. So I recommend that we accept Mr. Akins as the treasurer for tonight, as a temporary treasurer for tonight's meeting. As I select Mr. Akins, I need approval from the board. So would you answer yes if you approve Mr. Akins, Mrs. Carter?
Yes.
Sorry, and Mr. Akins.
Yes.
And I approve also. So tonight, we are all in agreement, that this board is in agreement for selecting Mr. Akins as our treasurer pro tem for tonight's meeting. Roll call, please.
Ms. Boynton,
Here.
Mrs. Macklin, Mr. Akins,
Here.
Ms. Turner-Burke, Ms. Carter.
Here. Thank you. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Ms. Carter.
Visitors are always welcome at our board meetings. So that the meeting may proceed uninterrupted, please silence all electronic devices.
Thank you. On our agenda tonight is our one plan goals, which is item number 2.01. You can read those at your leisure. Item number 3 is our awards, presentations, and communication. 3.01, first rank student leadership recognition. If you could just come down, please. Thank you.
If you guys want to come up, Mr. Jarsky and Ms. Stevens, if you can maybe just, we want to kind of let you talk a little bit about what the program is, and maybe, I didn't know if one of the students wanted to say a little bit, but you guys have done such a wonderful job. Mr. Jarsky is at the high school, Ms. Stevens is at Columbus Intermediate School, and they have led our first green student leadership group for the last couple of years.
Good evening. I'm Ms. Hujarski. I'm a science teacher here at Bedford High School. I've been an advisor for our First Ring Student Leadership Institute. And the way that the institute is we pick students that are nominated by their teachers. There's 5 sophomores that are picked, and they get the opportunity to stick with the program through their junior and sophomore or senior year. And we have actually students from senior year, junior year, and then we have 2 of our sophomore students here with us also. And these students, the goal of it is the students get to actually pretty much use something that's very similar to the scientific method, for everyone to understand, an action research project. And they get to pick a problem that they see going on within the school, figure out a way to solve it, answer, take those questions, and come up with a solution. They survey students, they survey staff, and from that data, they present in May of their possible solutions that they come up with. They present it to superintendents, principals, not just of Bedford, but to 15 other districts at a presentation. And it's a pretty big deal to the students, and it's kind of a big deal over around. And there's also a cohort in Columbus area that the students also work with. So every month they go on monthly field trips to work on this. So this is a year-long progress they deal with. The students have an opportunity to go continue every year. Their junior and senior year, if they continue, they get an opportunity also to get college credit plus, so that they can get college credit if they continue. We're gonna have the students have an opportunity to speak so they can tell you also about the program, because this program is student-led and we feel their voice is the most important part of this program.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kayla Butler, and I am a Year 3 student in the First String Student Leadership Program. First String has given me a lot of opportunities this year. For instance, I was able to be a mentor to students who were in lower years. I also got to, establish leadership and improve my public speaking skills. I also got to communicate with many different students across Ohio, specifically within the Northeast Ohio area, Greater Cleveland, and things like that. And through those experiences, I feel like I've improved a lot, and I will take them with me throughout my life.
And you're a senior? And you're going where? You want to tell me what your major is?
I plan to study creative writing at Swarthmore College after I graduate.
Hi, I'm Sanaya. And I'm a junior, which is a year 2. And I liked a couple things about the program. They serve real good food, especially at CSU. Their dining hall is very nice. They also taught us about the speaking skills, which I'm still working on because I just said and I was supposed to say but I'm getting better at it. They've also said they've also taught us. I'm trying to say They also taught us how to. What's the word? I can't remember the word. To come up, yes, thank you. To come up with problems and also how to fix them, and also how to communicate throughout our board members and staff and principal throughout the school. Because I was a little bit nervous to talk to the teachers and all, but yes, overall the program is very nice, and I would love to be a year 3 again. And yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Litzy. I am a sophomore. It's my first year in the First Ring Leadership Program. And I enjoyed it, even though I'm very shy in public speaking. But I actually enjoyed the program. I've learned how to, communicate better in ways we can make the school better. And we learned a lot of new things about different schools, which was very interesting, and learning their problems and how they could solve them. Oh, and the food was really good too.
Hello, my name is Alexander Yoroshutu. I'm a sophomore. And the first thing I want to say is I'm really grateful that I was able to be chosen to do the First Ring Leadership thing. It's amazing to see how much that the board really cares about listening to the students' perspective and their point of view to see how we can fix opportunities in the school and make it a better place. Throughout the thing, I was really impressed by how much communication and collaboration there was with other schools and with the administration in the thing. And it's an amazing thing to see how teamwork and collaboration can really bring things together. And I really hope that throughout the whole thing, we can help make the school a better place and solve many problems.
Hi, I'm Darnese Stevens. I'm a 5th grade teacher at Columbus Intermediate. You wonder, oh my goodness, an elementary teacher with the high school students? I love it. What I love the most, and I tell them this all the time, is watching them grow. Because when they first come, they're very shy, they don't want to talk. It seems as though they all know each other now, but when they first came together, they didn't really know each other. So it's amazing watching them grow into the young ladies and gentlemen that they are. I'm gonna pick on you, Litzy. Because when Litzy first came, she didn't want to talk, she didn't want to get up, and she walked up here right now and just went to the mic and without any hesitation. And that's the quality and I would say the strength that the program gives them, because they see other children who are just like them, and they're empowered to not only tackle a problem or talk about a problem, but to come up and research and try to solve the problem. A lot of our students are here because they're working. I get emotional because our second year students last year, they were very quiet. And they came back this year ready to get to work. They had their problem last year. They were ready to put it into action this year. And I'm sure our new first year students are going to do the same thing, because it motivates you to really understand you have the power and the ability to make a change. And that's what's great about the program.
Can you share what this year's problem was?
Okay, you guys want to share what the problem was? Okay, you want to tell? Okay.
Our year two's problem was absenteeism. Basically, it was just about the way that students are more absent during the school year. And what we did was send out a survey. What did I say? Nationwide? Statewide. I'm sorry. Statewide, we had students throughout Columbus and Ohio. We got together in Columbus and Ohio, and we put this big survey together, and we sent it out throughout all the schools, and we got back at least 4,000 responses. And a lot of the students said that they had that they were absent due to things at home or work or really anything. And some of the responses were really sad. I sometimes got emotional because it was like people or students really go through things during the school year. And now me and my year twos, we're now getting together to try to, behind their backs, we're trying to find a way to help our students to feel more at home during the school day, because they can't feel at home. Yeah, thank you.
I just want to add what you may not have mentioned. They've been working with the State Board of Ohio, with the different PTA school boards. This is something that the entire state, so they've taken it from the high school and local district and local area to now the state. So that's what the state, the second years and the third years have been working on.
So for our first year problem, we originally started looking at and trying to figure out many problems. They're very broad in general, like bathrooms, communication, spirit, all those things. And we eventually narrowed it down to what we thought was the biggest one, which was staff and student communication. We saw that throughout the school, there was a lot of either lack of professionalism or just a lot of just not getting along in general. And we really wanted to focus on that. So we sent out surveys, we sent out just questions. We really wanted to see if other people felt the same, and if not, why was there this much of a disconnect? And eventually we saw that most students and most teachers actually did get along with each other, and they both felt respected mutually. So that really had us, it really had us stuck for a second, and we had to pivot and actually find out what was the actual option. So eventually we thought, and we realized most of the students that responded to our survey were speaking on how things that were really distracting them from learning was stress. So after trying to pivot, we landed on stress, and we wanted to see what were the biggest things that stressed out the students of Bedford High School and how we could try to fix it. And the other thing, we had about 3 to 4 solutions. We wanted to find ways to add more positively painted murals, and we wanted to find more ways that students could help make murals and just overall collaborate into the thing. We also wanted to fix some of the announcements on how they're worded so they can be a little more uplifting instead of a little more condescending. We also wanted to help see if we could try to implement another sort of like a free mental health period on Fridays. We used to have an advisory period, and that was great at the time, but eventually it turned more into a work period, which only helped stress the students more and more. So we really wanted to try to fix that next year if we can. And overall, we just wanted to help boost everybody's just relaxation at the school and make them really feel at home. That way they can get the best learning experience that they can. And I'm really excited to help work with the admin and the board to see if we can implement these things. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just wanted the board to be, because a lot of times I know you guys see some things in Friday notes, but not really getting to actually hear from the students in terms of the depth of the programming or what they have been involved in beyond the district, and that they really have represented you and our entire community very, very well. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Proud of our students. No, I'm just saying, I'm so proud of our students. You can see the growth in them, and just to be able to hear from them what they're learning and doing is great. Yes, congratulations to all of you, and continued success with the program. Next, we will have a performance by a choir. Mr. Givaldi.
Good evening, good evening. It's with regret that the choir could not be here today. Over half of the kids were homesick. I had one had a game this evening, doing it now, and one's out of town. I would share that in the last 2.5 weeks, they've done 3 concerts. And we had a concert last night. So I really probably pushed them as far as I could push them. But they're doing an outstanding job. And I do want to share with you that the tour we did in Chicago was phenomenal. The choir kids achieved a gold rating for the first time since 2010. We also took along some American Sign Language students, and they signed songs that we were singing. They also won the Maestro Award. And we also had a student photographer that we took along to capture everything we did from the beginning to end. Their first experience would shock them when we got off the bus at Navy Pier. A stranger walked up to them and asked, "Well, would you sing for me?" And right there on the spot, they sung "The Lord Bless You and Keep You" for her and brought her to tears. So it was a wonderful opportunity for them. And I'm just so appreciative for your support in sending them. What I will have for you, I'm working on now, is I have putting together a video. And we're putting together and editing it now. Should be ready in about another week. We're going to have this about 20 minutes. Capturing their adventure there, while they're there each day. They had an opportunity to work with Dr. Brown from Concordia University. He is the music department head in Concordia University, so they had a college experience on this as well. They enjoyed working with the professor, and they learned a lot. They answered his questions very intelligently. So intelligent it surprised him. I said, I'm not surprised. But they were a little surprised, but very pleased, and really enjoyed the students. We got to the contest, and what is really unheard of in a contest, most judges are very stoic and they don't stone face. They got an applaud after every song from the judges. That's unheard of. And one judge that came up and did a master class with them after the contest and went overtime. They kept telling me, well, you got 3 minutes. He said, hold on. We got 3 minutes. Hold on. I got more to say. So they walked away with a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and one thing consistently was said to them. They were very well prepared. And we all should be proud that our students are still holding up the banner of excellence, no matter where we go, whether it's in town or out of town. So thank you.
I would like to say that I did spend the evening last night at the concert, and it was an emotional time, as we know that Mr. G is leaving us to pursue, going on to better things outside of the district as he is retiring. So I just wanted to say how I have appreciated and valued you in this district, being not only a 7th grade and 8th grade choral director, but also assistant principal. Oh goodness, now I'm like you, Kalisha. Just what you have just shared throughout this district. And when you speak in excellence, I remember Dr. Wallace used to always say, excellence, not mediocrity. And I know between him and you have definitely paved that way when it comes to our choral departments. You will be missed. We thank you for opening up so many opportunities for students along the way in your years and your tenure that you have spent here in Bedford City Schools. So I just wanted to extend that thank you and appreciation to you as well.
Thank you, Mr. Jamal. And I look forward, and the entire board look forward to that video.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you for all that you've done with those students. That shows what you've done over the years, what you continue to instill in them. So thank you to you for that. Because with you being there, that's why they are where they are, and will continue to hold that in their heart as I've done all these years.
Absolutely.
All right. Item number 3.03 is we are going to recognize our retirees. And this is always a great moment and a sad moment for everyone. So, Dr. Johnson?
Yes, well, I think that this is a nice segue, Mrs. Turner Birch. As we move into this part of the board meeting, I will call each of the individuals up on the board. We do have it displayed, the number of years of service, and that's in the district. So I think that says a lot about who you are and your dedication and your passion for what you do day in and day out. And as Ms. Birch talked about, Mr. Gibaldi, the individuals that come after you have some really big shoes to fill. But you definitely paved the way for us to continue on this momentum up towards success. The first individual is Mr. Gibaldi. So if you can come on up, Mr. G, as I call him. If you can come on up and maybe stand to, yes, stand right there. And so just a little bit, I will say kind of along the lines of what you talked about, Mrs. Turner Birch. Whenever I call Mr. G, you answer and you text. There are times where I don't know, and people probably don't even know that kind of relationship that we had, but it was always right on time, and I would always tell you that. Regardless as to what the need was in the district, Mr. G never complained. You didn't say that this work time doesn't work for me. You didn't say that I don't want to teach this or teach that. It didn't matter if you had 30 students, 10 students, you took that challenge on. And that says a lot about you and your character day in and day out. And so I just really want to thank you for your just being the good person that you are. And I think that says the most about who you are, is that you're just a good person. And so I will dearly miss you. But I know your number. So I thank you so much. Mr. Nichols, if you can come on up. And I don't want to offend anybody, but there's just a couple of people that when I first came here, they just extended their hand. So when someone might say, oh, why did she say something about everyone? And so some people were here, some people weren't here. but I will say these two individuals are the individuals that you opened up your arms immediately. I got a little bit nervous because I kind of had an experience when I went from high school and I told Mr. Nichols this to college at Ashland, and then my band director showed up there, and I'm like, oh gosh, just don't make me play any instruments. But you have always been so kind, and again, if I had questions about the department or the programming, we can have some really great conversations about that. And I just want to thank you and appreciate you, and I know that you're so ready and very deserving of this next journey in your life. So thank you.
You sure can. I just have to speak too, because as a 6th grade band director, Mr. Nichols, you have just shown, Aurora.
Right.
First chair clarinet before I became choral. But anyway, your dedication has definitely proven throughout the years. And once again, I know that you are always willing to lend a hand in anything. And I always love that you say, if you ask how you're doing it, I'm living the dream. And you are living the dream now after all the work that you have put in. So kudos to you, and thank you for all you've done for the district.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, I shy away from the microphone quite often. But I want to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to serve. As you know, I grew up here, or many of you don't. I graduated back in '83. Literally, the best things in my life came from Bedford City Schools. I've worked at Clairwood, Heskett, High School, Aurora, and so I've kind of seen the whole gamut, and I've worked with great administrators, great colleagues. Many are going to continue to be some of my best friends the rest of my life, and some of the best music staff that you're going to find. And so I just want to thank you guys, because Bedford City Schools has given me everything in my life. And the best thing that Bedford City Schools provided, maybe you didn't provide directly, but I was able to meet my wife. And so my wife is down here tonight, Michelle Nichols. So, until we meet again, to the next chapter, I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much.
I do have one thing to say to Mr. Nichols. You've been, as you said, you've been around different schools. I remember you back as my band teacher back at Heskett. Back when I came in from Carrollwood as a clarinet player and changed to a saxophone player. And been with you through high school, through all the band camps, through the long trips on the field, the hot days, and just to see how you've grown over the time, you've inspired me. Even after I graduated, I still wanted to play in the band when I went to the Navy, and I still played my saxophone because of that. And the fact that I've seen my own children come through the school band program with you as well, you're just you're a person that's you're sometimes hard on the kids, but in a good way, because you bring out the best in them. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate that you don't teach softly. You make sure that they do what they need to do. They stand where they need to stand, and you want excellence. And I really appreciate that. And you're going to be missed in the band program. I can tell you that. We had even the band parents, we're going to miss you. So, thank you. Thanks so much for your time.
I'm going to just quickly speak to both of them. I didn't have you as a band teacher, but coming to watch the band and being in high school, actually I think I even remember you at Aurora. That's so long ago. Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about it. But just seeing your dedication to no matter where you were or what was going on, to both of you, it was very inspiring to see that. And, to see you today, it's like, oh my God, you're not going to be here. But I know you'll still come around and definitely help out. Mr. G, you have, and I'm going to try not to cry, because you know what you've been to me. Even during my hardest times, you helped. And so I want to say thank you for everything you've ever done. For me, my family. I mean, I'm going back to like elementary school. You were there every day. You weren't judgmental. You were always there. Any advice you gave, I took it to heart, and I still live with it today. So I will say this is one of the harder ones for me, and I truly appreciate everything you've ever done.
All right, so we have one more certified, and then I'll break it up, and I'll go to the classified. Is Mr. Sovaco here?
Yes.
He is. All right, Mr. Sovaco.
Yes.
You can come on down. I would just like to also say, not that any job is not very difficult in public education, but I think Mr. Sovaco would agree that special education has changed so much.
Can I have a motion for a quick recess, please?
Motion. Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Turner Birch and second by Mrs. Carter. Dr. Johnson.
And I think some people were trying to go. If you could just wait a couple of minutes, and Ms. Lewis, if you can kind of give them a heads up, if they need to exit when everything's clear out there. All right, so Mr. Sovaco, I was stating, your role has changed so much, and the students that you serve absolutely adore and love you. Working with our students with disabilities and their families, I think it's important to have individuals in those positions that love our children, but they actually have to want to serve a certain population of students. That job is not made for anybody. And so for you to be in a role as an intervention specialist in this district for many years, I think we owe a lot of gratitude and thanks to you. Not only were you a teacher, but I know you coached as well. And so we just want to thank you, Mr. Sovaco, for who you are and all that you've done. Thank you. Before we break up, I didn't know if there was something you guys wanted to add. I know both of you might want to say something, and Mr. G has some family now too, so you might want to.
I just wanted to acknowledge my family that's here. I have my sister-in-law Maria in the back, my niece Alex, and my brother Glenn, who was playing last night, and they're here tonight in the back. Thank you.
Since everyone is, and I'll get in trouble if I don't, my wife Bernadette is here tonight.
All right, we do have a token of appreciation for you, but once again, we just wanted to thank you. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all your years.
Thank you.
gonna be moving on to their next journey. We have Janice Long. Is Janice here? I don't see Janice. And Janice is a paraprofessional. She's been here 6 years, and we know we need and love our paras. I don't know how this happened, but 32 years. Transportation attendant. But Mr. Meadows, we definitely want to just also thank you. I just think it says a lot to be able to serve a district, one district for 32 years. As you know, things have changed so much, especially in transportation. I tell people I was behind my son's bus one day and I just shook my head. So we thank you, we appreciate you and all that you do. People send their children off. And so knowing and hoping that they're going to get to school safe. I don't think people understand the importance of your role day in and day out. And that's a big risk on your part as well with our bus drivers and so forth. So we thank you. And I didn't know if there was anything at the board you wanted to say as well.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank Bedford City School Transportation for the opportunity. I want to thank the district for all the support and all of the lessons. It's life lessons, not just for the kids, but for us as adults as well, as we work with the students. I'd like to thank personally, going back in time, my first supervisor, the late Ann Wayne, that gave me a chance. And the late Melvin Lovelace, another bus driver that's gone on now, a friend of mine that told me Bedford was looking for male attendants. And I'll say the rest was history. And they allowed me to branch out not just as a monitor, but then to become on the assertive discipline program. And I will never forget it. And it's lifetime memories. And I look back on the bridges that I have with a lot of students now. And it's very important that I've learned as far as communication and building a bridge with the students. And sometimes we see them from Central or Glendale, and then we see them again full circle when they get here to the high school. Because I've also been blessed to see that as well. And seeing some of the kids that I've saw from Central, and in prior years graduating from Bedford High School. I will ever be grateful for that. I would like to acknowledge, I'm thankful my wife is here, Elizabeth. My play sister, Keisha Short. And again, I'm forever grateful to Bedford City School District for the opportunity and the chance to grow and to be part of a great district. Thank you. And congratulations to all the other retirees.
Thank you. Thank you for your 32 years of commitment and love for our children. Now you can get some rest.
I appreciate the longevity that we're seeing here. That means something to the district and to the employees as a whole, that, you know, you're dedicated and you love who you're working with and who you're working for, so thank you.
Thank you for your years of service. It's been, I understand you have to sometimes have thick skin to do what you're doing, dealing with children day in and day out, but we appreciate it. The fact that you've been here for this length of time shows that you're dedicated, that you love our youth, and that you want to see the best in them. So thank you so much for what you've done all this time.
I echo the sentiments of my colleagues, just the dedication and longevity just proves your investment into the community. So that's very valuable. Enjoy your time.
Enjoy your time.
Thank you, and I do have a small token over here as well, maybe on the other side of the table.
Thank you, sir.
You want like that for the others? Okay. All right, is Miss Janet Miller here? And Rob Weber? All right, well, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
All right, next on the agenda is item number 3.04, and we will have a presentation of our continuing contracts.
All right, as I call your name, please come up, and I will read a little bit about you. As you walk up to the stage, I will ask, Ms. Jackson, can you help a little bit? Because I know there's also some goodies over there for them as well. The first continuing contract recipient, and the board voted on these names a couple weeks ago, but because of everything going on, we wanted to make sure that you get recognized today. But the process is pretty stringent in Bedford. It's not just something that they just hand out. There's a whole application process in addition to an interview process. Then the principal makes a recommendation to the executive directors. And so these individuals that were brought before the board had gone above and beyond to meet the expectation and qualifications. The first individual, I will tell you, my first year here, I don't know how you did it, but I know you've gone through a lot of trials and tribulations, but you are one that is resilient, and so you are more than deserving of this opportunity, Ms. Kayla Darden. She is a Spanish teacher, service learning teacher, instructional specialist for the World Language Department, International Culture Club advisor, alternative resident educator mentor, and a three-point shooter. Kayla has also served in the following capacities: VOT meetings, ELL, family nights, Special Olympics, World Language Day at The Ohio State University, and more. She's traveled the world and has seen many cultures, many ways of life. She is able to bring first-hand knowledge to the classroom and establish amazing relationships with her students. So we thank you. Miss Linda Hansen. They say second time's a charm, huh? We were able to capture Linda back here in the district. You previously served here, and now you work in our Excel program. Linda is currently teaching third grade middle school ELA, science, and at the Excel program. You are taking your postgraduate courses to assist in understanding mental health challenges that students face and to further learn how to build empathy and a sense of community in the classroom, which is awesome. So thank you so much. Mr. Hoon. Mr. Hoon is at the high school. You're completing your 20th year as a science teacher at Bedford High School. Not only have you been shown excellence at the high school, but also as a wrestling coach. The one thing that I will tell you that has put us on the map is your programming and what you've done to go above and beyond. to get students even to that next level. You have served as an assistant coach, a head coach, an assistant football coach, physical fitness coach, and a sophomore class advisor. So we also just want to thank you for your volunteerism, for Habitat for Humanity and working summer camps, and your professional memberships through the athletic associations, the wrestling associations, and so forth. So we thank you and for your dedication to us. Leah Hollingsworth. Leah, another tough one. Leah has been an intervention specialist for the past 12 years in the district. She previously served at the high school for 2 years, working with students in ELA, social studies, and social skills. You currently work 4th and 5th grade intervention specialist, and you have worked in a resource room, inclusion in math and reading for the past 10 years. You serve on DLT, PBIS, ELA curriculum adoption, the Superintendent's Advisory Council, and I just want to thank you and I appreciate your questions and your insight into the things that are happening at the district level, as well as working as a volunteer for the Special Olympics. So we thank you so much. Miss Shannon Zell. Ms. Zell currently also serves as an intervention specialist. She's at Carrollwood Intermediate School for 3rd through 5th grade. You've been in the district for 15 years. At the district level, you've worked on the MTSS Core Committee. You've served as a resident educator mentor, the Employee Recognition Committee, building level work that you've done, the MTSS chairperson from 2017 to present, special education chair from 2018 to present, and the BLT member, testing coordinator, and so forth. So we just want to thank you also for your service, your advocacy that I think you do very, very well to our district. So thank you. So if each of you maybe could tell us who you have with you here today, if you have anyone with you.
Hi, I have my husband Brian and my 2 children, Brian Jr. and Brielle. Hi. Just want to thank you guys, and also want to thank you, Ms. Lewis. We're like this, right? So I appreciate everyone here, and board, thank you so much.
I have my principal, Andy Johnson, and my husband, Mark, here. And I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to be back in Bedford. It's near and dear to my heart, and I'm just blessed.
I have brought along my lovely wife, Christina, and 3 of my 4 children, Caden, my senior, Harper, Olivia, my 1st grader, and my pre-K guy, I think he fell asleep back there, that's Jackson. The 4th one is playing in a playoff baseball game right now, so he couldn't be.
I have my husband Eric here, as my children are in sports in the evening. And I also have my former principal, Mr. Kowski, and my current principal, Mr. Gudiaria. And I just want to say thank you for this recognition.
Hi, I have my dad here, who's also a Bedford alumni. And I also have Mary Catherine Rakowski, my past principal, and my current principal, Mr. Gudiaria.
Thank you so much for your dedication, your fight.
Thank you so much. Not an easy task, very, very hard to become team. So we really appreciate you. Next on the agenda is item number 3.05, gonna recognize our resident teachers.
I'm not sure if we have any here, but I will read the names, and if we do have some resident educators here, Lynn, I didn't know if you want to come up with them. But Emily Acker-Smith, Thomas Bisler, Alina Bonder, Caitlin Gatsis-Baker, Thomas Grishmar, Lisa Hammond, Carly Israel, Katie Kennedy, Evan Lentz, Emma Lober, Danielle Meiser, Ryan Muniz, Brian Plisky, Katrina Pritchett, Taylor Reedstrom, Megan Ryan, Lindsay Siegel, Wallace Sonny Jr., and Brian Webster. Just a little bit about the resident educator program. I also wanted to let you know we do have our lead mentors here that really, because the state keeps changing the expectations in terms of what needs to be done in order for you to even become a teacher. For us to have such an employee shortage, there seems to be making it more and more difficult for individuals to go into the profession. So Ms. Lynn Nicklich and Dina McSweeney, if you could please stand. These are the two individuals that work with our teachers. I believe that for the past several years, we actually have had, I think, 100% passage rate because they do have to take an assessment. Lynn used to be a RESA assessor on the other side of the state level, as well as the intervention specialist. Dina McSweeney was a teacher, as well as a long-standing resident educator, mentor, trainer, and so forth. So we just want to also thank you for your service. They go into the classrooms, buildings, check on the teachers, just really walk them step by step through that process from beginning to the end. So thank you so much as well.
Thank you. Congratulations to our RESA, well, they're not students now, but our resident educators. Yes, because you passed, yeah. And thank you for your great mentorship. We appreciate you. Next on the agenda is 4.01, approval of, board, could I have a motion to approve our May 2nd, 2024 regular meeting minutes?
Motion to approve our May 2nd, 2024 regular meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Akins and second by Mrs. Carter. Roll call, please.
Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Mrs. Carter?
Yes.
Mrs. Boynton?
Yes.
Mrs. Turner?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Next on the agenda is 5.01, it's our consent agenda. Could I have a motion to approve our consent agenda as it is presented?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Turner Birch and second by Mrs. Carter. Do you have any questions for it or discussion? Hearing none, roll call please.
Mrs. Turner Birch?
Yes.
Mrs. Carter?
Yes.
Mrs. Boynton?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Abstain.
Motion passes 3-0. Dr. Johnson?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you, board. Next on the agenda is, I'm sorry. Next on the agenda is the superintendent's report, 6.01. And
Good evening, Board President and board members. Under 6, I have 5 items here that I'm recommending. 6.01 is the list of graduates to date. There are some that still might be a little bit of a shift. I didn't know if it was okay if we need to add some, if we could maybe put it on the special, is that possible? Put on that special meeting? Yeah, I didn't know if that was okay.
yes.
Okay. We need to make sure. It might not change, but I just wanted to, can you do an option, yeah, is that okay? Okay. Thank you, I appreciate that. And then, because it would just be, yeah, just that item. And then under 6.02, we ask of your approval of the following administrative personnel. This is a replacement, unfortunately, for Ms. Jania Watson Brown, who's moving to Arizona. And then 6.03, the following recommendation for the summer school administrators. Then here, we did have some shifts and changes and resignations, so as soon as those come in, we do like to recall our individuals that we had ripped back in so we don't lose them, and each of these individuals have accepted the recall. And then we ask of your approval of the following non-renewal of a substitute.
Or you want to take them individually? Okay. Item number 6.01. Could I have a motion to approve the tentative list of Bedford High School graduates?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Turner Birch and second by Mr. Akins. Any questions or discussion, board? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Turner Birch,
Yes.
Mr. Akins,
Yes.
Mrs. Boynton,
Yes.
Mrs. Carter,
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, board. Item number 6.02. Could I have a motion to approve the administrative personnel?
Motion to approve administrative personnel recommended as presented.
It's been moved by Mrs. Carter and second by Mrs. Turner Birch. Any questions, board? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Carter,
Yes.
Mrs. Turner Birch,
Yes.
Mrs. Boynton,
Yes.
Mr. Akins,
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, board. Isn't it? It's on a field trip. Breaking already. All right, 6.03. Could I have a motion, please, to approve our administrators for our summer school for this year?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Turner Birch and second by Mrs. Carter. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Turner Birch,
Yes.
Mrs. Carter,
Yes.
Mrs. Boynton,
Yes.
Mr. Akins,
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, board. 6.04. Could I have a motion to approve the recalls from the RIF as presented?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Turner Birch and second by Mr. Akins. Do we have any questions or discussion, board? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Turner Birch,
Yes.
Mr. Akins,
Yes.
Mrs. Boynton,
Yes.
Mrs. Carter,
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, board. And lastly, 6.05. Could I have a motion to approve the resolution as it is presented?
Motion to approve resolution as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Carter and second by Mrs. Turner Birch. Do we have any questions, board? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Carter,
Yes.
Mrs. Turner Birch,
Yes.
Mrs. Boynton,
Yes.
Mr. Akins,
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, board.
Yes, thanks, Ms. Boynton. It was just a reminder that we do have to now renew our substitute teachers and our title tutors each year based upon those one-year contracts that they have in order for us to be able to hire them back should we need them.
Thank you. Item number 7 is our treasurer report, and 7.01 is increase in our appropriation.
I want to thank the board for having me tonight, for sitting in for Tabby. We have an increase in appropriations for the cosmetology room through our permanent improvement fund.
Thank you.
Could I have a motion? Thank you. Could I have a motion to approve the increase in appropriation as presented?
Motion to approve increase in appropriations as presented.
Second.
It's It's been moved by Mrs. Carter and second by Mr. Aiken. Do we have any questions or discussion?
I did have a question, just for the record, because we just did make an appropriation at last board meeting, so I just wanted to just put on record the reasoning as to why it needed to be increased and, you know, how those funds were needed to be appropriated.
Yeah, we underestimated the initial amount of how much we needed to appropriate. We do not have an increase of costs. It's a need to increase our appropriations to match what needs to be put on purchase order wise. We have the cash on hand to cover the appropriation. It's not an increase in actual spending versus what we do.
Thank you.
Mrs. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Mrs. Boynton?
Yes.
Mrs. Turner Birch?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you so much for the clarification and the transparency on that particular motion. Item number 8 is Board of Education, new business, old business.
I guess I'll start off. I just want to say that Miss Vice President Neckler is definitely missed this evening. She is healing well and doing well, so let's definitely continue to keep her in our prayers. That's all I have. I'm short tonight. I'm sure Danielle will take over.
I know in the last meeting I mentioned that this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so I'm glad that you made mention earlier of the situation that we were in. And with that, I just want to make a note that there is a vet center in our district, in Oakland Village, that helps support vets with therapy and group sessions. So if anyone is in any need and who is a veteran, there is a location right here in our community that can give you the assistance that you will need or your family member may need. So I just wanted to take a moment real quick and make that known to anyone who did not know. It's a vet center. It's right on Broadway. I don't have the address on hand right now, but it's at the intersection of Tryon or North Bedford Road and Broadway. It's right across from Savarino Brothers, next door to the assistant living facility. So if you're familiar with that area, just down the street from Sam's Club. But in addition to my announcement, I also want to put it out there that we are celebrating Juneteenth again for our second year, celebrating on the date Wednesday, June 19th this year. We have the celebration in the afternoon with a program and plenty of vendors. That will begin at 4 p.m. But what we're starting new this year, and I think I made mention at the last meeting, is our 5K 1 mile run walk. So don't be afraid about running. If you're not a runner, that's okay. Come out and walk. We just want our bodies moving. Physical fitness helps our mental and our emotional. And it's just great to just be in the community for a great reason and cause. It is a nominal cost of $25 for the 5K and just $20 for the 1 mile. The race will begin at Bearcat Stadium and it will end at Bearcat Stadium. The 1 mile will be down Northfield Road and back, and the 5K will go through the community, down Helper, around to Wellman, Solon Road to Northfield Road, and back to the stadium. So it's a nice route, not too hard, one hill, but it's down. So, but Northfield is a slight incline, but it's okay, because if you walk, that's fine. And if you do intervals, that's great. We just want you to come out and join us with your families. Children are invited. We do have plaques. We don't have medals this year, but hopefully with good participation, we'll be able to have medals come next year for participation. But we will award in age groups the first runners in each age group. So come on out, have a great time. If you cross the finish line in your age group, the first one across the finish line, you win a prize for participating and coming in that first place. And that's only for the 5K, not the 1 mile. But we just want you to come out, have a good time in the morning, and spend all day with us so that we have the race, and then come back in the afternoon for our wonderful program that we will have for everyone.
I do want to add, on, was it Thursday? Wednesday? Yeah, Tuesday. One of those days we had, I'm sorry, community engagement. My days are running together. Tuesday, we had our community engagement here at the school to go over the great things that we're doing as far as the new bills, what is all going on. We had everybody here to talk about it, so if you had any questions, you were able to answer those. There's also a survey going out to ask what is it that you want to see on the outside of the buildings, what do you want to see in your community? So if you get that survey, definitely take that survey. It's important. Again, we want as much community feedback as possible. It's not just about us, this is everybody. So when the next one is communicated, definitely come, get that information, ask your questions, provide your own feedback. It's a community thing, it's not just us. So we would love to have your feedback and definitely, even if it's tough communication, we want to hear it.
Thank you. I just want to add that Mrs. Carter and I, a couple of weekends ago, attended the Board of Education Leadership Academy, which was really, really informative. And we, as a board, learned so much about guidelines and things that should be happening within our school districts and things to help us be better board members. And I just wanted to say, as I share with Ms. Carter, that she's the first-year board member, as they were, sharing with us some things that we need to look for in our school district, just to make sure that if you didn't know these things should be happening within your school district, they gave us a list of things, and every time they would list an item, I would tell Mrs. Carter, we do that. Oh, we're doing that. Oh, great, we already have that. And it was just nice to hear and to, just to confirm that we are on the right track at Bedford City School District, doing some great things. And again, I'm just going to commend Dr. Johnson and her staff and our teachers, everyone in the Board of Education for being on top of the things that are happening within our district. So thank you, and it was really, really good and very informative.
And I do want to add that AI class that we took. If you don't know about AI, definitely do your research. As much as I was scared of it, it can definitely help you in a lot of ways. And if you use it correctly, it can also help the students, as long as they're not using it. But it's a great tool. I was afraid of it, I will say that. But having that class and being able to learn more about it, it's definitely a great tool to use.
I do want to mention that we did attend a presentation on career tech, which is such a big thing right now. And so I'm so glad that we're bringing it back to the Bedford City School District, because that is the latest in the trends, and it was just so much and so many things that are happening within career tech. So again, so proud that we are on the right track.
With that, I did participate in the Bring Your Parent to School Day yesterday at the high school, and my child is in the cybersecurity. And it was nice to sit in that class to really observe. I kind of already knew what they were doing, like they've hacked into banks and stuff like that. Now granted, the banks know, it's a mock thing, but the pathway for cybersecurity is so awesome, to the point where I believe Ms. Lewis told me there is a student who is graduating this year who will go into a job making $85,000 a year as soon as they graduate out of the cybersecurity certification. And they can get that certification as early as their junior year, I believe. So that is a space, and it's opening up so much, especially with AI, where you can even get into government sectors and things of that nature. So that's a great opportunity, and I'm proud that we are offering that, and that we have a partnership such as Trusted Set to be able to offer these opportunities to our students, and how wonderful, right? You can make upwards to 6 figures just graduating out of high school from taking a certain program. So kudos to everything that is going on with opening up more opportunities for our students.
We have a birthday to celebrate. Old man, old man, old man. Is it tomorrow? We are going to celebrate Mr. Higgins tonight because we are going to sing happy birthday to him. He'll be 2 years older. He probably feels that way. Anyway, so we would like to wish Mr. Higgins a happy birthday, and Danielle wants to sing. Let's go, Danielle.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. That is my singing.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. All right. All right.
We're gonna have we have a snack for you as well, and the rest of the board.
Oh,
We like birthday. No birthday without cake. All right, and next
I'm
on
just getting more
the
grades.
agenda. Huh?
I'm just getting more grades.
That's okay. I have a pencil. It is wisdom. Still, I have a pencil. We have reached a time where we're going to have a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
So, second.
It's been moved by Ms. Carter and second by Mrs. Turner Birch. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Carter?
Yes.
Mrs. Turner Birch?
Yes.
Mrs. Boynton?
Yes.
Mr. Akins?
Yes.
Motion passed 4-0. This is the end of our meeting, and we will see you June 6th. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the evening. Oh, yes, we do have a special meeting, I'm sorry, on 21st, May 21st at 5 o'clock. All right, thank you, and our meeting is adjourned.
Dr. Reed.
Oh, no.
I need a ride.